Coming up, electric buses are coming to Flagstaff. Plus, a phone scam that police want you to know about. The news starts now.
You're watching NAZ Today, Northern Arizona's local news.
Good evening and welcome back to NAZ Today. I'm Liam Combs.
And I'm Michaela Richardson. Thanks for tuning in. This year, Flagstaff has seen over 3 times the average amount of precipitation in the area. Along with almost unprecedented snowstorms, the city is working to mitigate potential flooding. For the first time in years, Upper Lake Mary is full. Thanks to runoff from heavy snowstorms in the beginning of the year, water is now making its way into Lower Lake Mary. However, the recent winter weather has caused some areas in Flagstaff to flood. Fox Glen Park in East Flagstaff has overflown with sewage due to the abundance of runoff making its way into the sewer system. The park is closed to the public until further notice. Flood impacts are moderate at the community level. However, the city of Flagstaff will have an update on short-term mitigation plans next month, with new flood risk models available.
Have you ever gotten a suspicious phone call from a Captain Smith? Well, Coconino County Sheriff's Office says to be on the lookout for this type of phone scam. NAZ Today's Richard Espinoza reports.
Coconino County Sheriff's Office is asking the public to be on the lookout for an apparent phone scammer who identifies himself as a Captain Smith. The Coconino County Sheriff's Office says that is a red flag.
So the scam that we are receiving quite a few reports on involves a person calling on the telephone to some vulnerable folks, and what they're doing is they're basically stating to them that they represent either a retired deputy or officer from one of the local law enforcement agencies. They are giving a name of that person and then telling them that they are deficient in showing up for jury duty.
Excellence says be careful when receiving phone calls, even if the number is from local law enforcement.
People just to be very careful when they receive a phone number that they don't recognize, when they're speaking to a stranger on the telephone. Even though that phone number may look like it's coming from a law enforcement agency, it is not typical for law enforcement agencies to contact people.
Coconino County Sheriff's Office Public Information Officer John Paxton says beware of red flags.
So we really want to let the public know that the Sheriff's Office, the police department is never going to call you and ask for money.
Paxton explains what the penalty will be if the scammer gets caught.
So the penalty is obviously going to be fraud, and the level of that penalty depends on how much money is scammed or frauded out of the victim.
Anyone receiving a scam phone call from a Captain Smith is encouraged to call the Coconino County Sheriff's Office or your local law enforcement agency as soon as possible. Richard Espinoza, NAZ Today.
Thanks, Richard. Flagstaff is officially getting a fleet of electric buses through Mountain Line Transportation. The unveiling of this new fleet took place last week, and officials say 2 of these fully electric buses will be in rotation starting in the middle of April. Our friends over at KNAU report the buses have 440 kilowatt-hour batteries and can travel 130 miles on a full charge. The new fleet is expected to reduce local greenhouse gas emissions by over 65% as the hybrid buses get replaced over the next 15 years.
The Northern Arizona Book Festival is returning this weekend from Thursday, March 31st to Sunday, April 2nd. The festival will feature events such as meet and greets, book signings, and even poetry readings in various locations across Flagstaff. The first event will be the Cinder Sky readings on Thursday at 7:30 at the Brightside Bookstore downtown. NAU's long-awaited Early Learning and Development Center is now open at the Flagstaff Middle School. The center is open to children of NAU students ages 3 to 5 and aims to provide high-quality education that will focus on inquiry-based learning and building strong relationships with family and peers. NAU President Jose Luis Cruz Rivera says the center is setting a high bar for what childcare should look like in 2023.
Each week we do a segment where we showcase pets who are up for adoption in Flagstaff.
That's right. NAZ Today's Maxine Marchand introduces us to a dog that is cuddly and full of energy.
On this week's Pet of the Week, I got to meet up with Queenie. She's very energetic and loves being outdoors. Let's take a look. Queenie is a beautiful husky with multicolored eyes who is excited to go explore the world with her new family.
So this is Queenie. She's about 2 years old, we think, and she was originally brought in as a stray, and no one came to redeem her or take her back. She is full of energy. She's a typical husky and loves to run around and make all sorts of mischief, but only in the name of fun. She's potty trained, and she's been with us for about a month or so now. Is that right? Yeah.
Queenie would be a perfect adventure buddy for a family with an active lifestyle and a great space to play. She has never shown any aggression to anyone.
She is leash trained, so she is a little bit of a strong handler, but once she calms down a little bit, as you can see, she's doing just fine.
If you want to adopt a pet, you can look into adopting from High Country Humane in Flagstaff. For more information, you can visit them or go online to highcountryhumane.org. Maxine Marchand, NAZ Today.
Coming up, Nashville police release body cam footage of the shooting at a Christian elementary school. Also, federal financial regulators testify before the Senate Banking Committee in the wake of the second and third largest bank collapses in American history. Stay with us.
I have good news and bad news for those who are tired of the snow. I will start with the bad news. We do have some more forecasted snowfall for this week. However, the good news is you have something to look forward to because as we go into the weekend, we will be seeing consecutively warmer temperatures as we go into Sunday. I'll have more weather for you later on, so stay with us.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Does your family need a break from the daily routine?
Hello, I'm Dr. Spruce. If you or someone you know needs a healthy dose of nature, visit discovertheforest.org and trade in the big screen for the big blue sky by visiting a local park or forest near you.
Hiking, picnicking, swimming, orienteering, climbing, admiring wildlife, or inhaling fresh air may result in heightened creativity, feelings of joy, harmony, satisfaction, and a euphoria that can only be explained as oneness with the natural world. Whoa.
When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. Now I'm anything but lonely.
We have this deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure love.
Staring contest!
You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Welcome back. Investigators in Nashville are digging into the background and motivations of a former student who entered a Christian elementary school and opened fire, killing 3 children and 3 adults. Police are now releasing body cam video from the shooting, and we want to warn you, some of the video is disturbing. CNN's Ivan Rodriguez is in Nashville with the latest.
Another community in mourning.
I was devastated, and all I could think about was my child.
As new details emerge about the 6 people killed in a shooting at the Covenant School in Nashville, Tennessee.
The 3 9-year-olds who were killed, Evelyn Dickhouse, William Kinney, Hallie Scruggs.
Also killed 60-year-old Catherine Kuntz, who according to the school's website was the head of the school. 61-year-old Mike Hill, who was a custodian there, according to police, and 61-year-old Cynthia Peak, who was a substitute teacher, according to police.
I am just heartbroken, sad, and outraged at the same time.
Metro Nashville police releasing more than 2 minutes of surveillance video showing the moments the shooter, identified as 28-year-old Audrey Hale, who they say was transgender, arrived on campus and opened fire on an entrance. Police say the former student executed a planned and targeted attack.
We have a manifesto, we have some writings that we're going over that pertain to this day, the actual incident.
Newly released body cam footage shows the moments responding officers confront the shooter. Police say the first call came in at 10:13 Monday morning and the shooter was dead 14 minutes later. In Nashville, Tennessee, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
Financial regulators are on Capitol Hill testifying before the Senate Banking Committee today and the House Financial Services Committee Wednesday on what led to the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank. Congressional investigators pushing for answers as the federal government tries to shore up the banking sector and prevent more issues in the future. CNN's Chris Wen is in Washington with the latest.
On Capitol Hill, U.S. financial regulators testifying Tuesday before the Senate Banking Committee as lawmakers in both chambers of Congress launch formal investigations into what caused the second and third largest bank collapses in U.S. history earlier this month.
The quick collapses of Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank were no ordinary failures.
Michael Barr, a top U.S. Federal Reserve official, says the meltdown at SVB started at the top.
This is a textbook case of bank mismanagement.
Barr testified that SVB had been on the Fed's radar since November 2021 when it was cited for interest rates and liquidity risks.
They didn't take the action necessary. They were quite vulnerable to risk, to shocks, and they didn't take the actions necessary.
The bank, he says, collapsed after depositors tried to withdraw $100 billion in a single day, driven by social media and mobile banking.
The bank did not have enough collateral to meet that. And therefore, they were not able to actually meet their obligations to pay their depositors over the course of that day, and they were shut down.
While the federal government stepped in to guarantee deposits at the two failed banks and set up a facility to help prevent runs at other banks, some lawmakers demanding regulators take further action to prevent a similar banking crisis in the future.
If it's the regulator's fault, it better be fixed. If it's the regulation fault, it better be fixed.
The congressional investigations into the financial sector's instability come as fears of recession are mounting. In Washington, I'm Chris Wen.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
Your son wants to get a cat, but you're allergic. Do you A, prepare yourself, B, make the best of it,
C squared equals 25. Good job!
or C, find a loophole? When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers, but that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org. single ember from a wildfire can travel over a mile. You can't control where it will land, only what happens before it does. Visit fireadapted.org to learn how to protect your community from wildfires.
Welcome back. My name is Matt Keenitz, and I will be bringing you the beautiful Tuesday weather that we have been having today. Today we had a nice sunny day, and that will continue as we go into the week with one exception. However, right now in Flagstaff, we have a current temperature of 48 degrees with those clear skies and that southwest wind just at around 17 miles per hour with that wind chill at 42 degrees. So even with that slight breeze, we do still feel nice and content with that 48-degree weather. Taking a look at our current satellite, we can see that we did not have lots of cloud coverage in Arizona today. There was some slight coverage in both the northwestern and northeastern parts of Arizona. However, nothing that will affect us here in Flagstaff until later on in the week. Taking a look at today, we had a high of 49 degrees and a low of 29. We are pretty on par with those averages, a little bit above on the low and a little bit below on the high. However, we are nowhere near that record of 70 degrees in 2015. It's kind of hard to believe that just 8 years ago it was 70 degrees on this day, because I thought that today was pretty warm itself, so I can only imagine how they were feeling that day. We did not have any precipitation yesterday. However, we are just above 16 inches of precipitation, and our average is only at roughly 6 inches. So we are doing very, very good here in northern Arizona precipitation-wise. Taking a look at the temperatures all across the state today, 50 degrees was the high in Winslow, 55 in Sedona and Prescott, 48 up in Page, 66 of a high in Kingman, and down in Phoenix, per usual, the hottest in the state at 81 degrees. Taking a look at Flagstaff tonight, however, we are going to see a forecast low of about 29 degrees and those mostly clear skies. That sunset will be at around 6:45 p.m. just after this show. So it is a perfect night to go out and look at the stars. And even if you look at the stars, you will be seeing some planets tonight as well, because tonight 5 planets will be lined up tonight after sunset. So if you want to see all 5, it is recommended you go out right after sunset, because 2 of those planets will be disappearing on the horizon about 30 minutes after sunset. So you want to see all 5 and see that beautiful view, check it out right after the show ends. However, if you are unable to, just seeing 3 planets in the skies, I'm sure will be a spectacular view on its own. Taking a look at tomorrow in Flagstaff, however, forecast high of 53 degrees. It will be sunny and breezy tomorrow, so make sure you are prepared for that light wind that you'll be seeing. It might feel a little bit chillier than 53 degrees due to that wind. However, nothing to worry about, because it still is a lot warmer than what we have been used to here in Flagstaff. Sunrise is at around 6:18 a.m. And going into tomorrow, all across the state, we can see relatively warmer temperatures all across the state tomorrow. 66 is the high in Sedona with a low of 40, 68 up in Page with a low of 42. Phoenix, our high is your low tomorrow at 53 degrees with your high at 81, and then 64 in Payson with a low of 37. Taking it back to Flagstaff now, we will be seeing tomorrow a high of 53 and a low of 27. And here's where the bad news comes in for those who are just sick of the snow. We will be having some snow on Thursday with a high of 38 degrees with a low of 19, but not to worry, because as the week goes on, we will be seeing warmer temperatures reaching to a peak on Sunday at 56 degrees with a low of 33. Saturday, a high of 54 with a low of 27, and then Friday, a high of 47 with a low of 23. Now that is all the weather I have for right now, but stay tuned with sports after the break with Ava Nichols.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay. Yeah.
Hey Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
So we were walking to school.
I started thinking about lunch. Mom packed me turkey and cheese.
She's
I really want
smart.
cheese pizza.
Sometimes her mind wanders.
We should have a sleepover.
I remember saying, Laura?
I think I heard Mom say something.
The sign says don't walk.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
I really hope she doesn't
I
have
really
another
hope I
bad
don't
day
have another
at
bad day at
today.
school today.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome back to NAZ Today. My name is Ava Nichols and I'm your sports reporter for the night. After finishing their indoor season over spring break, NAU Track and Field competed in their second outdoor meet in Tucson at the Willie Williams Classic over the weekend. David Dunlap won the men's 200-meter and Nikita Moore won the women's 1,500-meter races on Saturday. As for field events, Mitchell Effing won the men's long jump with a mark of 7.79 meters. And on Sunday, Jenna Figueroa won the women's long jump, recording a score that moved her to first place in the Big Sky Conference. Alyssa Colbert won the women's 100-meter race, and in the men's 100-meter hurdles race, Tyson Givens ran a time of 14.37 seconds, setting a new personal record and putting him first in the Big Sky. And today on campus, 8 NAU football alumni competed in front of NFL scouts at NAU Pro Day. They showed off their skills in a variety of typical combine drills, including weightlifting, a 40-yard dash, and much more. Switching to high school, as we all know, the Flagstaff community has been heavily impacted by snow this season. Flagstaff High School baseball's home field has been covered by feet of snow for months now. The Eagles made their debut at home yesterday, beating the Mojave Thunderbirds 13-2. Sports reporter Ashley Hinchy was at the game yesterday to take a look at the field's current conditions.
On Monday, Flagstaff High School baseball played their first home game of the season against the Mojave Thunderbirds. Flagstaff has received over 150 inches of snow this winter season, causing Eagle Field to be covered in snow for the past few months. Senior Luke Wilson explains how much work has gone into preparing the field for Monday's game.
We've had our parents out here and us for countless hours cleaning it up, throughout the year, and to be able to play our first home game and do exactly what we should, beat a team 13-2, it's pretty special. We've had tractors out here, we've had shovelers out here, just scooping up, we've had 5 feet of snow at one point, just kind of chipping away at it, and the sun's helped a lot. Yeah, we've just kind of doing a lot of manual labor, a lot of early mornings on Saturdays.
First-year Flagstaff varsity head coach, Kenny Macias, expresses his gratitude for how the community has come together to bring baseball back to Flagstaff.
Really thankful to all the Booster Club members and all the parents that came out and helped, and the coaches, everybody contributed. We had a lot of donations from the local vendors, and NAU helped us out of some also with their equipment. And everyone's pitched in, and it's been really helpful. The community's really helped us out.
With no more expected cancellations and 2 rescheduled games to look forward to, Coach Macias is optimistic that his team will get plenty of more chances to play at home this season.
Nothing better than being outside, playing at your home field. It's obviously it's cold, and we can deal with the weather, but the boys were really excited to be out here today, and I'm really happy for them that they got their first win out here. It was really, really awesome.
Ashley Hinchy, NAZ Today.
Flag, Cocoa, and NPA all had baseball action and softball action today. Remember to bring your coats as the temperatures are still low. For more information on that, stay tuned after the break for your weather recap with Matt Kienitz.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple?
Chop the pineapple.
Nope, I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope, I'm high. Let's order in.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
2 outs with
the big guy comes off the bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers. The first pitch is fouled between the
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
All right, you ready for some baseball trivia?
Let's do it.
What year produced the most no-hit games in the big leagues?
7 no-hitters in 1990.
Wow, that's right. Now a question that's not trivial. How many children will witness bullying this year?
Huh.
The answer? 3 out of 4.
75%?
That's
Wow.
right. How many of them will say something?
Kids want to help, but don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov.
How prepared is your family if a wildfire shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or an earthquake? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes. Make a plan today.
Welcome back. Taking one last look at our expected weather for the week. Wednesday, a high of 53 and a low of 27. Thursday, we do have that snowfall with a high of 38 and a low of 19. Friday, high of 47, low of 23. Saturday, 54 is the high, low of 27. And Sunday, kicking off the end of the weekend with 56 as the high and a low of 33.
Well, Matt, I know we've been all hearing whispers and talks about it for a while and for years, but finally, construction on Flagstaff's very own In-N-Out burger chain has begun.
I'm so excited. The former Pizza Hut location on Milton Road is being demolished to make way for what will soon be Flagstaff's first In-N-Out. Contractors plan to finish demolition by early next week, then construction is set to begin shortly thereafter. The goal is to have In-N-Out open by this October. And frankly, you guys, I am so excited to celebrate Halloween with some In-N-Out.
Me too.
Now, Matt, what is your favorite part about In-N-Out? Like, what's your...
I do have to say, I do love some animal fries. So back down in Chandler, we have about like 5 within the location of my house. So it's nice to have one up here finally.
Yeah, totally. Now that's all we have for you guys tonight. Make sure you stay tuned for our show tomorrow night, and make sure you follow our socials and our Instagram at NAZ Today _. Have a great night.
Good night.